Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Libra be affected by the November 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy coming through. And we have Judgment. So if we have Gemini energy within our natal chart or within our lives, they're going to be coming through very powerfully at our root of our being. Then we have our inner selves. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords. There's a gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, coming in. And it's a gift just for us because we're represented by the swords in the minor arcana, by the Justice card in the major arcana. And it's almost as if we're taking these swords out, but we're doing so by naming a lot of the heartbreak, a lot of the pain, a lot of the hurt, a lot of the chaos that we've had within us. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. This is a poverty mentality coming in at the heart. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is wealth, prosperity, and starting a new journey. So this is very interesting. Then we have our public arena self. We have the King of Pentacles. So Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we have Earth sign energy within our natal chart or within our lives, they're coming through very powerfully in the public arena. We then have the Page of Wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, coming through very powerfully again in the public arena. And then we have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. Now, the sun is in Scorpio, so that Scorpio energy is going to be affecting us very powerfully in the public arena. We're going to find ourselves transforming. We're going to find ourselves walking away from some things that we didn't think we'd ever walk away from. And this is going to be a time of power. It just really is going to be a very powerful moon for us. So let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. The Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is going to be a fire sign energy that does not have a cap on itself. This is going to be a person who can be all consuming. They can just have one drama after the other, so they just consume our lives. They can be a person who just needs all that attention all the time, so they can just consume our lives. They can have so much of a temper that they consume our lives. Whatever it is that they bring to the table, they bring it to the extreme so that actually we kind of want to walk away. So just be aware of that. We can also be a little bit fiery. Spirit is letting me know we can be a little fiery during this time and be kind of very consuming in one way or another. So we have to be mindful of that energy within us as well. Then we have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. It's clarity. It's the third eye chakra. We are awakening. And this time, astrologically, we can definitely see that we are awakening to something more. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. But the third eye is opening up. We're seeing things more clearly. We're seeing things more openly. We're seeing things more honestly than we have in previous times. And as we are embracing this openness and this honesty and this intensity that is us, we are changing the game. And we are going to find that we're walking forward with a bit more of a knowing than we have had in the past. A bit more of a sense of, this is me. So let's talk about this moon astrologically. This is the full moon on the 19th of November, the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. And everything is much more intense when there is a lunar eclipse. So everything is going to be amplified during this time. As in all full moons, the sun is opposite the moon, which brings all relationships into sharp focus. It's also making us aware of the opposite forces in our lives: work, home, wants, needs, our wants, other people's wants, our needs, other people's needs. We're a lot more emotionally aware and are more spiritually and personally plugged in to what we want and what we need within our lives. There's going to be a sense of a purging that's holding us back from taking in these gifts. So that's going to be something that we have to be mindful of. A lunar eclipse represents the resetting of our emotions and the clearing away of the baggage that we've been carrying for the past 6 months. And so we're going to find that so much of what's been weighing us down is being expelled from our bodies, expelled from our souls. And we're going to be finding ourselves kind of settling in to who we are and who we need to be and what we desire. This is also going to be really important that a lot of the baggage is being cleared away, because for everybody, there's just been this tinge of gray around the world, for the last 6 months and beyond. And we're going to find that we're starting to acknowledge it and to step out of it. We're starting to step into ourselves more. The full moon is in Taurus, which is the second sign in the zodiac. This means that it is naturally linked to the second house, which represents the material world, material things, material life, food, the body, well-being. We are being told to pay attention to the quality of things, not necessarily the quantity of things. The sun is in Scorpio, which is the 8th sign in the zodiac, and this means it's naturally linked to the 8th house, which is the house of regeneration and death. And that's what we have come through very powerfully in the public arena. There's a sense of a door to another world being opened for us. As the second house and Taurus have us focusing on the material world, the 8th house in Scorpio have us concentrating on the spiritual world and the esoteric side to life. These two need to balance themselves out, or else we're going to feel completely out of harmony during this time. Taurus in the second house also have us linked to Mother Earth and what we are earning, how we are able to provide for ourselves, while Scorpio in the 8th house have us linked to the banks and how we are able to save once everything is taken care of. And this can put us in a bit of a sad mood. It can, with everything that has been going on within our world. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at things a lot more honestly and a lot more aligned with who we are than what other people expect us to be. The moon is squared Jupiter. Now, this brings hopefulness and enthusiasm into our lives. It is also amplifying our emotional response to things. So we have to be mindful of our hearts and our reactions. We are going to have a tendency, as everybody is going to have a tendency, because this is astrologically, towards moodiness, irritability, and carelessness. So we have to be aware of this. We are also being told that by adopting an attitude of gratitude and spirituality, not materialism, we will see our worlds transform. Jupiter urges us to use Jupiter urges us to expand our horizon and use our gifts, to keep an open mind and not let greed take over, because it's going to be very easy for greed to just take over things during this time. So just be aware of this. The moon is trine Pluto. Now, Scorpio rules Pluto and also rules Mars. So we're going to see here that this Pluto energy is very important for us. So the moon trine Pluto, this brings spiritual and emotional sensitivity, as well as enhancing and bringing to the forefront our psychic perception and abilities. So the clarity of the third eye chakra is really opening up to us. We are feeling things more powerfully, which makes us more emotional. There is a subconscious urge for the evolution of ourselves at a spiritual level, and an empowerment of this energy through Jupiter that has us achieving our goals and aligning ourselves with our karmic destiny. Now there is an eclipse aspect pattern that is the alignment of the Sun, the Moon, Jupiter, and Pluto, created by the creating a quadrilateral known as the animated figure. And just as this configuration is named and suggests, it starts to animate our world. It brings things to life. And what it's going to do is not bring things to life all at once. It's going to happen slowly, not necessarily as easily as we would like it, but it's going to happen steadily. And it's going to bring things to the surface, physically, psychically, spiritually, mentally, that we've not been seeing before. And it's going to let us tap into our imagination and our perseverance to get the job done, and a sense of, okay, I'm here for a reason. This time also is giving us tremendous purpose, more purpose than it's giving other signs. So just be aware of that here, Libra. Be mindful of the fact that everybody is going to be an all or nothing type of person during this time, meaning either I'm all in or I'm not in at all. And so as we embrace this all or nothing energy, we have to know that we need to show up even when we feel like we don't want to. And we also have to encourage those around us that we're working with to not feel so discouraged and not be so hard on themselves. Now, here's where things get a little tricky. The fixed star Algol is known as the most evil star in all the heavens, and this fixed star comes into play during this time. Now, be it the most evil star in all the heavens is a big title to live up to, and something that is quite intense, but it also brings with it, astrologically, a tendency towards violence, extremes, misfortunes, carelessness, everything that we don't want and that we've kind of been through can seem like it's coming back if we're in a low energy vibration and the star hits us. So what we need to do is be mindful of keeping a high energy vibration. And this star is in the constellation of Medusa and is representative of Medusa's head in that constellation. And we all know that Perseus, executed Medusa not executed, but killed her by cutting off her head. So this star can have us have a tendency to lose our own head when it comes to things, to have a raging temper, to let the fires just fly way too much in us. That's why I'm pointing to the Queen of Wands. That's what Spirit is warning us of during this time. But we also need to understand that we can fall into the trap of greed, that more is better and more will always be better. And what we're going to find is that we regret it during this time. We regret it and it becomes overwhelming. So let's look at the lovers that come in. The lovers are passion, the lovers are beauty, the lovers are connecting with love and not lust. And we have to be very mindful with this, because we're going to find it very easy during this time to let our emotions kind of take the reins and fall into lust with everything and anything. Just fall into this beautiful, intense passion all the time. And we can really love it because it's going to give us a dopamine high. It's going to give us this sense of, I'm doing the right thing, I'm riding this high, I'm moving forward this way. What we need to do is really look at what we love, why we love it, and what we're passionate about, how we're moving forward, what we're going after, what it is that we desire. We need to look at the essence of things, not just the illusion and delusion of things that we think that we are seeing. So what the lovers does here is it puts us into alignment. It has us looking and embracing our passion for our lives and our world and the way that we move forward in ourselves and what we are desiring to create. It moves us to the place of judgment. It moves us to this place of, kind of purging through fire, this place of being reborn, but also this place of feeling like we are being risen out of the box. We're facing the demons, the angers, the hurts, the pains, the disappointments, and we're stepping into ourselves more and more and more. And as we do so, God, Source, Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe, hands us this gift of knowledge, hands us this gift of insight, hands us this gift that has us changing the game. We're going to see that our words are powerful. We're going to see that we're cutting through negativity and, toxicity so much within our lives. And as we cut through it, we step into ourselves. As we cut through it, we release so much chaos within our lives. We're going to find that our minds are sharp, but this is a time that we need to speak what is in alignment and right for us. We need to embrace what we desire and how we're moving forward for us. And as we do so, the Three of Swords comes in. And the Three of Swords is the heartbreak and the pain and the disappointment that has been weighing us down for so long. It is the sense of, this is what tried to destroy me. This is what tried to break me. And I'm not going to let it take over my life anymore. The Three of Swords comes in, and we cut through so much of the negativity around it. We're taking out those swords, and we're arming ourselves with the knowledge that I'm not beaten down, I'm not destroyed, I'm not held back anymore. And the Three of Swords comes forward. And as the Three of Swords comes forward, we look at so much toxicity that has been in our lives. We look at the things inwardly that have been like a ball and chain around us, keeping us from moving forward as fully and beautifully as we want to. And it brings us to this place of poverty. So how this pain has manifested in our lives is through this place of lack. Now, it can be physical poverty. It can be physical poverty, material poverty, but the poverty is the sense of, I'm not worthy. And what Spirit is saying here is, why? Why aren't you worthy to go into a place that will warm you and comfort you? Why do you always have to be walking out in the cold and chaos? The Three of Swords, yes, the Three of Swords has us looking at the pain that has defined us. And this could be the pain that is around money. For so many of us, we could have grown up in houses where there was never enough money, where there were always fights about money. So money became this thing to be, lusted after, but also greatly feared. Also the root of all the chaos in our lives. And so what we're going to be seeing here is that a lot of our pain that has kept us poor, that has kept us impoverished, that has kept us beaten down, is seen. And as we see it, we start to see ourselves. We start to see the lack of confidence that we had. We start to see the hurts that we've carried. We start to see the chaos that we've brought forward into our world as we're creating it. And God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is saying enough. It is enough. It is time to turn towards wealth and to know that you are never alone. And as this wealth comes in, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're all going to win the lottery, though I do wish that on each and every one of us. What it does mean is that there's prosperity that's coming. There's bounty that's coming in. There's success and power and beauty that's moving us forward. This is moving us to the next chapter. This is wealth. This is connections. These are connections. This is power. And as we move forward in this wealth and in these connections, we move forward in the power and in the beauty that is us. We're going to see ourselves taking these gifts and planting them deep within us. We're going to see ourselves redefining what success is, redefining the narrative of the past, our fears that have been holding us back, and it moves us to this place of the King of Pentacles in the public arena. And it moves us to this place of wealth. It moves us to this place of power. It moves us to this place of having a mentor, of having somebody who guides us. Now, it would be lovely if we actually had somebody who sat down and guided us through our world. But what we're going to find here is that we're accumulating this knowledge, accumulating this way of looking at things where it's like, oh, but I can do this, and oh, I can do that, and I can move forward that way, and I can have this or that within my life. And that starts to become the game changer. In the public arena, we're seen as very successful. This can make it actually a little bit difficult for us because we're gaining the courage to take gifts that we are going to see that they're gifts of the sword, right? And they're gifts of the pentacles. So the mind and the voice and prosperity and success. But they're also what has been eating away at us. So the Three of Swords here has been eating away at us. It's the hurt and it's the pain. It's knowing that words are like weapons. To quote Cher, words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. It's knowing that I carry forward within me a lot more pain than I ever realized. And it's finding the gift of our voice through that pain. It's finding the gift of our wealth through that poverty. And so when people see us as just successful people who are going on our merry way, we can be thinking, this is so much harder. This is so hard. Why aren't you paying attention? Like, why aren't you connecting? Why aren't you seeing this, to the rest of the world? And the world's saying, because you're putting such a brave front forward. You're doing this so well. You're walking forward so well that this is something that isn't going to be acknowledged by other people. We have to acknowledge it within ourselves. The King of Pentacles is us embracing prosperity and success, us moving forward in bounty and understanding. And it brings us to the Page of Wands. It brings us to a place where there's an innocent passion to us. We're starting to find that spark again. Now, be it. We can also sit here and understand how we move forward in our wealth, how we embrace what we desire and what we want. And there's an innocence to bringing that connection into our waking world. And this is what we're doing. We're bringing the connection of our power into our waking world to move forward in what we desire, to move forward towards something greater. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at things like a student, like a person who's kind of coming to it for the first time. We can be feeling quite overwhelmed, but then we're also going to be feeling insightful and, questioning and, looking at things in a very different, very open, very honest way. And as we do this, the Death card comes forward and it says, this is the power of the sun. The sun is having us transform. And the moon is having us, embrace to our rooted self, having us embrace to our stability and our security and what we desire. So we're transforming into a person who is more secure within themselves than they have been in a very long time. But the Death card is also bringing us this sense of sensuality, this sense of connecting with our bodies and our souls and what we want and what we need and the bigger picture that we're looking at. And there's power here. And we're going to be walking forward in that power. This is a time to embrace our bodies. This is a time to embrace the sensuality of our beings. And it doesn't mean that we have to go and hook up with anybody if we don't want to. It means that we start to own the beauty that is us. And instead of looking and saying, oh, well, I should be like this, or I should be like that, or if only I lost, 10 pounds, or grew, X amount of inches, or did this or did that, then I'd be good. Then I'd be happy with myself. It's looking at things, and it's understanding the secret of this world, that everything is fleeting, and that where we are today has something beautiful to offer us in the future. As we embrace this fleeting time, as we embrace the transformation and the power that is ourselves. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, I love how that one just popped right out. Angels and spirit guides. So at our root, we have nothing is set in stone, the unexpected. Nothing is set in stone, so expect the unexpected. We're going to think we know. There's a level of pain around us, a level of that gray that we were speaking of before that has just settled in. And again, the lunar eclipse represents the expulging of the baggage that we've been carrying for the last 6 months. It represents a stepping into our power more and releasing a lot of darkness. And so here, nothing is set in stone. Embrace the unexpected. Step out of our comfort zones. It leads us to looking at the bigger picture and coming to the realization that we are the key. We are the key to so much more than we realized. We are the power and the purpose and the intensity that leads us forward. And we're going to find that we're unlocking that door. We really are. And also, like the sword kind of looks like a key here. And so we are unlocking that door. It brings us to our lunar emotional self, which is the new moon in Taurus, which has that beautiful Taurus energy coming forward. And it says here, prosperity lies ahead. That's where our sovereignty is. In the prosperity that lies ahead. In the way that we know that prosperity gets to be a part of our lives. It doesn't get to be this endless, draining struggle anymore. It brings us to our public arena. Oh, but with this endless, draining struggle that we've been through, as we're stepping out of it, we're going to fear it. We're going to look at things and say, well, what if everything falls apart? What if? And we're going to think of the worst case scenarios. And that's going to be very overwhelming for us. So we have to be mindful of that we can talk ourselves out of quite easily moving forward and moving to the direction that we want to be because of the fear that is around us. It moves us to our public arena selves. It says, show the world the real you, patience. Show the world the real you and be patient. Be patient at the bounty that's coming into our lives. Be patient at the way that we move forward and the world that we're embracing. Be patient as we evolve and become who it is that we were put on this earth to be. Because remember, we are connecting with our karmic destiny. And as we are connecting with our karmic destiny, we are aligning with our true selves. It moves us to our subconscious lunar message, which is a personal issue reaches resolution. Resistance. We can't be crushed. This personal issue that is reaching a resolution, we have been so resilient and resistant to being crushed down, to being, just blotted out, that we are starting to realize that we are stronger and much more powerful than we realized, than we ever thought for ourselves. And I love it. Underneath it, it's the full moon eclipse. And the full moon eclipse says conclusions are within reach. And that's what we're embracing. And a win-win outcome is aligned. You're not supposed to, yeah, there we go. Because that is our energy. That's the full moon in Libra as we shine, as we move ourselves forward. I like that. That was very pretty. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And it's the Chariot. It's letting our emotions just run wild, Libra. We can so easily do it. We can so easily fall into the trap of being very attracted to people who are just one emotional basket case after another, one emotional drain fest after another. And this is going to be a time where we're like, no more. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy. And that's forgiveness, the heart chakra. It's not only forgiving others, but it's forgiving ourselves for wanting their approval, or for, all the hurt and pain that we have been through because of them. It's forgiving us the mistakes that we have made, the hurts and the pains that we have lived through in life. And it's starting to embrace who we truly are. It's forgiving the fact that we were too young to stop anything. We were too naive to understand. We fell in love with them so completely. Whatever it is that we need to forgive, this is the time that we look at it. We look at it and then we say, enough is enough. And it brings us to our subconscious rooted energy, which is the devil, Capricorn energy. We're facing so many fears that have kept us small. We're facing so many of our demons. And now we're saying, you know what? No, I'm not cowering down to you anymore. It moves us to our subconscious public inner selves, our inner selves. And it's the Six of Swords. It's taking our knowledge, it's taking our understanding, and it's moving forward. It's understanding that we're going to be scared because how do we? How do we embrace this? And we have all sword energy here within our inner selves. The Ace of Swords, the Three of Swords, now the Six of Swords. We're going to be in our own heads inwardly a lot. This could be something that could be very detrimental to us. We can overthink and overanalyze. Excuse me. Just beyond the realms of easily. This is a time where we take the knowledge that we have earned through the beauty of living, and we start moving forward. And we start to say, this is my life. I get to form something extraordinary here. It moves us to our subconscious emotional selves, and it's the Eight of Pentacles. Our hard work, our dedication is paying off. But we're also going to start to see the way divinity has lined up things. how we've been tested in these certain ways, how we've been pushed out of our comfort zone in others, why we've had certain issues come up time and time again to have us, build our patience, to have us build our confidence, to have us build this beautiful creation of ourselves to move forward in our power. And this is going to be a time where we're looking not only at what we're physically working towards, but how spirit has molded us. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Ace of Swords, clarity. It's the cutting through the doubts and the fears and the negativity, and it's the clarity of self and of being and of what we desire and how we get to move forward in our lives. And it's the seeing of who we truly are. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this full moon eclipse. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra, and may you have a blessed moon.